So we compiled a list of promising layer 1 crypto tokens based on Becker's Twitter poll. And these are tokens that actually have a chance of being bigger than Bitcoin itself. And I know that sounds really absurd, but I'm not exaggerating. And I want to show you why in this video. But the tokens we're about to talk about are incredible breakthroughs in technology. So much so that they even make Ethereum look a little bit archaic. And the best news yet is that these tokens have less than $100 million market cap, which would be the equivalent of finding Ethereum way back in 2015. So despite there being a lot of talent on this layer 1 crypto list, I want to go through two of my personal favorite crypto projects that really do have that 100x potential. But if you're going to tune into this video, I need you to promise me three things. One, you don't be silly. Potential, it doesn't mean these things are actually going to happen. Two, you hit that like button below. And three, put on your layer 1 hat and let's jump in. Okay, so for this video to make any sense, it's really important that you understand exactly what a layer 1 means. So here is a very simple explanation. Let's start with layer 0. Layer 0 is the connection between two entities. A great example is the internet connection between YouTube servers and your phone right now. It's literally just sending you data, which happens to be this video. Now, layer 1 is a consensus and compute layer. It uses the power of blockchain to decentralize data and computing without the need for big businesses and governments sticking their giant snobs into the pie. But the biggest problem with layer 1s right now is scaling, because layer 1s are far too slow to be able to unlock the full potential of blockchain technology. And that's why there are layer 2s. And layer 2s are simply solutions to scale layer 1. They provide more processing power to the consensus layer so syncing and computing can be done at a larger scale. And then finally, you have layer 3. And these are normally consumer-facing applications built on top of the layers below them. You can think of popular ones maybe like OpenSea or Uniswap. Awesome, so we know what layer 1s are, but now we want to look at the history of layer 1s to realize why layer 1s are so important. And I advise you to skip over this section at your own risk, because if you don't know where this technology has come from, you don't know its trajectory, and you don't know where it's going to go. And you'll probably just end up putting your money in something like Doge or Shiba Inu. Okay, so first, back in 2008, we had Bitcoin. And Bitcoin relied on a proof of work consensus blockchain mechanism. Blockchain meaning literally a block and then the cryptographic hash chain connecting it to the next block. And this allowed peer-to-peer transaction validation, allowing us to send money to each other without the oversight of a third-party company like a bank. Fast forward 7 years to 2015, and Ethereum kicks down the doors and enters the scene. Now, Ethereum's biggest innovation was allowing peer-to-peer transactions to be programmed and executed through smart contracts. This allowed us to go from just a consensus blockchain to opening up the world of computing. And Ethereum is now often described as a giant decentralized computer in the sky. But the problem with Ethereum scalability is it's unable to handle many transactions, and therefore it can become very expensive to use the Ethereum computer to process your data. And Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, now refers to this problem as the blockchain trilemma. And whoever can solve this blockchain trilemma will win. The trilemma states that blockchains are currently forced to make trade-offs that prevent them from achieving all three aspects and becoming the perfect blockchain. Aspect 1 being decentralized, aspect 2 being scalable, and aspect 3 being secure. And there's two chains in particular that have claimed to solve this blockchain trilemma. The first is a crypto chain called Casper. Now don't get confused between the Casper tokens. This is Kaspa. And if you haven't heard of this blockchain yet, you're in for a real treat. Casper is claiming that they're currently the world's fastest blockchain, and that they have in fact solved this blockchain trilemma. Casper allows the fastest transactions, is completely scalable, highly secure, with absolutely no sacrifice to decentralization. How is this possible? Well, Casper is the world's first block DAG as opposed to a blockchain. Put simply, in a blockchain, you must wait until the first block is being confirmed before transacting the next one. But in a block DAG, blocks can actually be confirmed in a non-linear way, allowing horizontal flexibility and the power to process way more transactions. Casper is really inspired by Satoshi Nakamoto's original vision, which is to become the peer-to-peer electronic cash system, whereas Bitcoin, which wanted to do this, seems to have gone more towards the digital gold, or an electronic store of value, because its slowness incentivizes people to hold it, not trade it, and very little can actually be built on top of it. Now, interesting enough, Casper have actually opted into Bitcoin's original proof of work consensus mechanism. But to speed it up just a little bit, say to the speed of light, literally the fastest thing in this universe, Casper is attempting to use something called optical mining, which is essentially mining with lasers. The theory once again being that photons travel way faster than electrons. Now, all of this sounds sounds pretty cool and very high tech, but anyone could put together a website and throw these facts on it to try and impress us. So who is it that's actually behind this project, and is it legitimate? Well, their founder is Jonathan Sompolinsky, an absolutely brilliant Harvard postdoctorate. Jonathan started gaining reputation within the cryptocurrency academic circle back in 2013, when he and Professor Zohar conceived the Ghost Protocol, which is the foundations of the block DAG that they're currently using. And this protocol is actually famous for being cited in the Ethereum white paper as a design goal. They also have a guy called Zhao Yang as an advisor to their company DAG Labs. And now Zhao has a pretty insane resume as well. He co-created Farmville and was the co-creator of My Mini Life Inc., which sold to Zynga Games and became the common technology platform powering over 150 million monthly users. And Casper and their team seem to have done everything right so far. They launched without a pre-mine, they're focused on being open source and community run, and have an enthusiastic community with incredible social narrative. At the time of this recording, the Casper token has the ticker symbol of KAS and has just over a $30 million market cap. And despite the bear market, their token is actually up 1000% in the last couple of months. Which reminds me, if you want to get access to the full list of these Becker Layer 1, influencer buy alerts so you know exactly when they buy and not when they shill it to their audience, and rising token deep dives before they gain 1000% in a bear market, you should consider joining our Patreon community. We did sell out once again last video, but I'll open some more spots this morning for you, so please don't hesitate to join if you'd like to get in. I'll be leaving the link in the description below. Now on to our second token, and you really are going to want to pay attention for this one, because if everything this chain is claiming comes to fruition, I can't see there being a bigger chain out there. And before I tell you exactly what it is, I need to tell you that I lied. This actually isn't a layer 1 crypto at all. This is actually a layer 0 protocol called Constellation. Constellation claimed to be feeless, interoperable with every layer 1 that currently exists, and can operate on any device in the world with no latency. A statement that nobody else in the blockchain world can make right now. But what gives them so much confidence? Well, first of all, they don't rely on a proof of work or proof of stake consensus, but they're pioneering a proof of reliable observation consensus technology that claims to become faster the more transactions there are. And yes, you heard that right. Unlike Ethereum, where the more transactions that need to be processed, the slower your transactions go through and the higher price you pay for them. Very similar to how Uber surged their prices during peak hours, because there's simply not enough Uber drivers to drive everybody at the same time. But Constellation claim that the more transactions that need to be processed will help operate their flywheel superhighway, actually accelerating the transaction speed. Now, I'll allow you to research the nitty-gritty of this technology yourself, but put simply, I heard a really good analogy on how this technology works that I want to share with you. So imagine you're in a classroom of 30 people and you're doing a test. Classically, Ethereum and proof of stake operate such that at the end of the test, the teacher has to grade each of the 30 tests herself. And say this takes a minute per test, this will take her 30 minutes to process these transactions. But if we use proof of reliable observation, which is the method that Constellation employs, this would have these students grade each other's tests at the exact same time, which would only take 1 minute. Then based upon how well these tests were graded, each student will get a reputation, just like how your credit score works in normal life. And now you can start to see that the more students there are in that class, or the more transactions that there are occurring on Constellation, the more processing power there actually is available, making it what they call infinitely scalable. The Constellation Protocol also claimed to have developed a Hypergraph Layer 0 technology that sits below layer 1s like Bitcoin and Ethereum and allows them to open up their liquidity and remove gas fees entirely. This would allow people to build on this infrastructure and the future to be available for us all at a far quicker rate than if we relied on something like Ethereum. And there are some really cool data applications currently being built on Constellation that are literally impossible to be built anywhere else because of the congestion and the fees. Things like decentralizing and owning your own health data, or real-time analyzation of foot traffic in the real world. And I need a whole other video to go into these specific applications, so make sure you do hit that subscribe button so you see it when it comes out. Now lastly, another big feature of Constellation is the inherent value of its token. Because in order to run a soft node, you need to be staking the DAG token. And these soft nodes are required to process the transaction. And the more data that is passed onto the Constellation block DAG, and the more successful each of these applications become, the more nodes are necessary, and therefore the more DAG needs to actually be locked up. So DAG is essentially betting on the power of data. And 90% of the world's data has actually been created in the last 3 years. So not a bad industry growth rate. And in fact, there's some real juggernaut companies and organizations betting on DAG right now. Like literally the biggest organizations in the world. Companies like AWS, Splunk, which is a data analytics company used by all of these companies, and the US military itself. I mean, what other blockchain can claim that they're doing business with the US military? At the time of recording, the native token of Constellation, DAG, is priced at just over 8 cents, with a market cap of 104 million and a fully diluted market cap of 304 million. Remember, the link to our Patreon is in the description below, and I would love to hear your thoughts on what you think the next biggest layer 1 protocol is going to be and why in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.